Yes, guys, what's going on? We're back again for another weekend wrap. Myself and it's D as well. Next to us, you can see his Twitter name right below us as well. If you're on Twitter, go and follow Dean. We got so much to talk about today. We've just been watching a little bit of the Chelsea versus West Bromwich Albion game. They won 3-0 today. Manchester United lost this weekend. Man City won 5-1 against Leicester City, which I'm sure means the title is wrapped up now. Arsenal, what happened to Arsenal? They lost against Spurs 1-0. Liverpool won 2-0 at Southampton. Some big results this weekend, and we're going to talk about all those things as well. But today's episode had to be firmly on Manchester United because it has to be spoken about. Like today, I've just been speaking to Dean, and I said like I've kind of just not spoken on social media or anything for a while. It's just been, I felt a little bit shit after that Newcastle game. Dean, can you sum up how you're feeling at the moment after that one?
Yeah, it's just a bit disappointed, isn't it? In terms of the hype, the kind of...
You're not mad, you're disappointed?
Because when you're thinking we're signing Sanchez, you're thinking we're going to kick on, and we've lost 2 out of 3 since he's been here, so we lost against Spurs as well. And it's... I don't know. It's just I expected a lot more. My expectations were a lot higher than what we're currently producing.
Do you think some of the fallout from that game has been over the top, or do you think it's been fair?
Like a lot of people are getting onto Pogba, and I can understand because he's had some poor games against Spurs and against Newcastle, but people have to remember what Pogba's done. For as much as Pogba can do wrong for me, I'm never gonna. At the moment, I'm not gonna get onto him because from when I seen us under Van Gaal, Pogba's absolutely transformed us in terms of there was no one who could move the ball from defense to attack, and Pogba done that. And like he's not single-handedly, because obviously it was a team effort, but kind of single-handedly. I think if we don't have Pogba, we don't win the Europa, and we're not in the Champions League this season. I just think that we're way poorer without Pogba, and I think obviously it's just that's why it's like I think the criticism is a bit harsh because I don't think you need to like he's done so much for us in such little time. Maybe not with the accolades, but in terms of when you watch the team, we're completely different. For me, I don't know.
I agree with that as well. I think Paul Pogba has made a big difference to Manchester United. Although I do think some of his performances recently have been poor. I agree that some of the criticism doesn't make sense. Daniel Lepper though says he didn't look arsed yesterday. Whether you play him 20 yards further forward or back, he should be better than he has been. Yesterday he was just poor. Now I wanted to speak about this a little bit later in the show, but seeing as we're on it, we'll talk about it now. Do you think he is becoming affected by the formation that we're playing, and that could be therefore affecting maybe his application or his attitude or whatever? Do you think he's suited to the role he's being asked to play right now? And if not, should he be doing better anyway?
Yeah, I think he can do any position. As much as people say he's poor defensively, I think if he puts his mind to it, he can be a beast in DM as well. I just think sometimes I think, and again this is just from the outside what it looks like. I think at times because Mourinho sets up differently against different teams, I think Mourinho is asking him, regardless of if you're playing a 3 or a 2 or whatever, I think Mourinho is asking him different things in different games, and I just don't think so. You can see sometimes like against Spurs, it's like he looks like obviously you're disagreeing with whatever he's saying, and obviously again, Mourinho is obviously you're not really gonna second guess Mourinho because he's won so much. But if he but
is he making some mistakes at the moment? Because I genuinely feel when I saw that team against Newcastle, I was commenting at the time like this is the same team that played against Spurs. Now you could say he's shown faith in them to be like Spurs was a one-off. They're going to react for me. But is he not seeing the errors of his ways like by now? Because we saw against Everton a much better performance when we played 4-3-3 and Pogba was in a further advanced role. Now I think Herrera's injured, so obviously that's one player out. But McTominay has done well this season. We could easily play Matic and McTominay. Carrick's back now.
Yeah.
Like, is he wrong in persisting with this 4-2-3-1 when everyone outside looking in seems to think it's wrong? It's not working for United.
Nah, because I think from the way I saw it, I thought 2 points. I thought McTominay should have started Again, I think because of the way because we're Manchester United, I think we should be able to go and impose ourselves on teams. And I think against Newcastle, they're not although they're gonna have a big backing at St James's Park. We're a better footballing team than them, so I think McTominay is good enough to be able to. He's like if you're not on I know obviously John Joe Shelby's been around for a while, Diarma's been around for a while. But it's like if you can't compete with these guys, really, like you can't be
in the squad.
Yeah, in reality, like at United anyway, like if you can't compete with John Joe Shelby and Diarma, and I think he can. I'm not saying he's going to do better,
but from the selection, it seems.
Yeah.
Jose thinks he can't.
Yeah, or I think at the same time, I'm just thinking Mourinho's fault. I want to go win this game straight away because City put teams away quickly, and it happened.
I don't think they do because sometimes they score very, very late on. They've had a lot of last minute winners, and I think when you've got a good, I know City's defence has been questionable at times, but they play in a different way. So of course they're always knocking. But I feel we haven't got a defence, especially when I see Smalling and Jones and Young playing. I'm not going to say Valencia because that's unfair, but when I see Smalling, Jones, and Young as a combination, I don't mind if say Young and two others or whatever. I always feel bad about that team. I always feel bad about it. Like, we've got Lindelof. Like, what's going on?
But again, I think if
we can't keep clean sheets, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I hear that. But that team is good. That team should be good enough to beat Newcastle away from home.
No, but it should be. But we've some of those players have proven time and time again that they're not. Yeah, they keep making mistakes.
What I feel, Mourinho, he shows he kind of at the moment he's keeping faith.
Trying to prove a point. I need some money.
Maybe, but he came out and said obviously Luke Shaw's contract's done. I think at the end of the season,
he's extended
we're gonna have like a 1 year extension or whatever. But he's talking about he's one of the best like left backs. So you're obviously not looking for a left back. You did sign Lindelof. Lindelof's maybe not turned out to what you wanted him, but you signed him.
Rojo's back.
Sounds like I don't know match fit, and again it's like not underestimating Newcastle because at the same time we should be beating them, but it is going to be a tough. I'm not getting away from the fact that he's going to be a tough game. So you probably want your people who's fresh in it, like.
But Smalling being fresh, I don't think that makes a difference. Like, because look, I think he's had some good times at Manchester United, and I think that's for like in the last 5 years. That's where we've got caught up in this kind of like. They'll have a bad moment, but they'll bounce back, and they'll come with some run of good form. But ultimately, he's not good enough because the team hasn't been finishing anywhere near to where we should be anyway. But I feel like Smalling just hasn't developed. When he's on the ball, he's always worries me. Like when he has good games, there'll still be times in that game where he's worried me, but he's just dealt with it at that time. Like, why is he still playing for Man United? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can he still be trusted to play week in, week out? When he's played, so he played badly. Like, that defence played badly against Spurs. What are you doing?
Yeah, but Spurs, at the same time, they played badly against Spurs. But Spurs are a good team. That's in reality. Like, in reality, they've only beat us 1-0. So it's one miss. A game is full of mistakes, but it's the ones that kind of cost you, the ones that get highlighted. And obviously, they've scored one off a mistake of ours. It's come off Smalling trying to win a free kick. And obviously, he has like even that. It's like he has dived.
Why are you diving though?
But again, to me, I was having this conversation the other day, and it's like to me, I think when like we was growing up, like diving was like a kind of an art, if you like, in terms of if you can get away with something that's not an actual foul and get a penalty or free kick or whatever, is an advantage to you. And so some people will have that way of thinking, but I think now that it's turned where now pulling out is the game. It's like because people are like conditioned to like go down, it's like now you're getting them clever defenders who are like going to put a tackle in, but then pulling out at the last minute because they know you're gonna go and dive. And it's like because that's kind of the it's like because it's still kind of cheating because if you're kind of preempting him doing it, but it's
but then like it's double bluffing, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what it like. But that's what kind of happened because Smalling was expecting.
But then like Smalling, like I understand defenders have clever dives, like you know when they're in the corner and a strike comes behind them, they'll fall over, and it's like you'd never fell over before. That's diving, but it's a foul in it, and they win it. Like I understand that, and I wouldn't even be getting onto him if it was that. But this was he was about 20 yards away from his box, and when he went past that player, no other player was near him really.
It was a poor touch.
but he's still getting onto that ball. Like, you don't need to. Why you do like? He has these moments, and they come. The FA Cup final when he just drags man down, even though it's on the halfway line and we can still get back. Why are you getting yourself sent off? We've saw so many moments where he's just fallen asleep. Company's goal 1-0, City win the league. Like, I know it's unfair to kind of pick moments out like that, but he has far too many of them. And is it? We said it with Mkhitaryan. Is it now Jose's got to be ruthless with these guys and just chop, chop, chop? And do you think Jones is as bad as Smalling? Because that's a big discussion as well.
I think on the day, I don't know. I think I do. Phil Jones at times I do like, but again, like I was saying to you before, Smalling was our best defender under Van Gaal, and this is only a couple of seasons ago. He was the best for me.
But Van Gaal's set up completely different.
Yeah, and I agree. But individually, he was a lot better than he is or what he's showing now.
But I feel potentially Jose plays a 4-2-3-1 because of the fact he's worried about what's behind that two. When you can play a 4-3-3 and then you've got just one sitting in front of them and you've got two further forward, have we got a good enough back four to be able to do that? If we had Bailly and Rojo consistently fit, would we have seen a 4-3-3 more? Like, do these guys just need more protection and therefore we're just suffering as a whole unit? Imagine like we had Spurs' back four, I was thinking the other day, and we'd probably be top of the league or much closer to Manchester City. And I think it's just the knock-on effects of this bad defence at the moment.
Adding to your point, I think the problem with our defence, because our defenders ain't good with the ball, I think that affects Pogba negatively. And that's how I think a lot of people get onto him. But it's like, literally, I've got to take the ball from the edge of our box to the edge of their box in order to do something, because my defenders are not, they're not playing me any decent balls. So I literally have to do it myself. I think that's a problem. Coming back to your point about the defenders in terms of do we need to get people out, I think Mourinho has tried to do that, because he hasn't signed that many players in the time he's been here, and two of them have been centre backs. And Bailly's I think is class. I think that's the main. I think, to be honest, I know we've been a bit poor in front of goal like yesterday, but I think if we have Bailly, I think we're a completely different team. And I think that's because everyone knows there's a guy who's gonna clean up the mess. But because we don't have that, I think that feeds through the team. I think that's one of the problems. And again, that's what I think why Pogba maybe did start. Cause I think Mourinho, I think we need to kind of kill teams off early, because I think our defense, like we're
always going to
we look like we could be susceptible to an attack against us. That's how I see it.
It's annoying, man. That defense is really annoying, and I just think like even does Alderweireld's contract, I think, ticking down. He ain't signed a deal. I think we need to be just going in, getting one of, like, if you replace Smalling, I'm sorry to just keep digging. I never dig players out here, and this is nothing personal, man. But I think it's just time to go. His time is up now. And I think if you replace him with a much more experienced, much more senior, much better centre half, and you have maybe Rojo coming in, Jones or Bailly alongside them. If you have Bailly and another, and then Jones and Rojo and Lindelof, Twanzebi's coming back. Like, we let Twanzebi go, and we got Smalling acting like the ball's a hot pancake every time he's kicking it. Like, Twanzebi's so much more of a baller, like. And I don't want to hear like he's young or he's inexperienced, because he's going to play better than that. Like, it's facts, isn't it? It's facts. Like, how do we resolve this problem, and how do we get the best out of this team and this defence? It's just a whole conundrum right now. It's a whole conundrum. What do you want to see going forward? What are the changes we should make?
We all need to pray for Eric Bailly. Like, that's the main thing. I think we need to get Bailly back. If we get Bailly back, I think anybody else can complement him. I think he's that. I think he's
Bailly,
that.
Rojo, Bailly, Jones.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters. Even that, it's like in regards to Smalling and Jones, I think he's tried. Mourinho's tried everything. He's tried to sign another defender. He tried to sign Lindelof. Rojo is not a centre back by trade. From what you know, what I'm saying, he's like a left back more time, and it's like he plays.
No, I think he's a better centre half, man.
Yeah, no,
I think he's better in a free.
He's shown that, but I think
he's got too much hot sauce about him.
Yeah, but I think
too much going on. Like, it's too dangerous. Him and Bailly is too dangerous.
Yeah, but that's what, it's like, I think when Van Gaal bought him, he bought him as a left back.
Yeah.
And it's like
like, he was planning to play a back three and all that, innit? Like,
yeah,
when you're talking about Van Gaal He was looking to play a back four really,
and
he's looking to play a left-footed left back and
But he's not like a centre. He's a centre back
in a free.
That's and we're like we're not playing that. So he's even put Rojo there, and Rojo did well to be fair to him.
Our injury list, I didn't realise it was this big, man. Shit. Bays, Latan, Blind, Herrera, Fellaini, Rashford and Herrera getting added to it this week. That's obviously a disappointment. But yeah, going forward, we got Huddersfield next away in the cup. After that we've got Sevilla, and then we got Chelsea. Yeah, so we got the top four race. This kind of just moves on to the top four race anyway. Like it has tightened up this weekend. United losing, Liverpool winning, Chelsea winning, Tottenham winning, Arsenal. I think they're gone. Arsenal out. Arsenal out.
Yeah, well, you never. I wouldn't like. There is still games to go, and the top teams have got to play each other. So I wouldn't. At the moment, they look like they're adrift. But from what I've seen, they usually do kind of turn it on. Somehow, Wenger kind of gets them to start when it comes to the Champions League. Off. Yeah, it's only like last season they missed the Champions League, so I would anticipate they would turn it on a bit, but it's tight. It's tight for us. The thing that
they're 7 points behind Spurs, who are in 5th.
Yeah.
And they're 8 points behind 4th. They're 9 points behind 3rd, and they're 11 points behind United, Arsenal, with 11 games to go.
But with none of those teams, well, from what I can see, none of those teams are going to be putting together any kind of like championship winning form between now and then. This
Arsenal's
maybe
form, they've lost 3 out of the last 5.
That's well.
I know I'm laughing. United have lost 2 out of the last 5, but yeah,
I don't know. I think it's wide open, to be honest.
I think they're gone. I think the lowest United will finish, and I'm surprised I'm saying this given where we were a couple of months even ago, in terms of we were clear out in second by about 8 points or something mad like that, and now it's 2 points and we're 4 points from 5th place Spurs. It's tightened up a lot. We still got to play Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home, Man City away. Oh, please no guard of honour. What do you think about that? Do we just refuse to do it?
Nah, if
it's a choice thing, innit? If
they win it, I think, to be honest, I think you do have to do as bad as it sounds. Serious, man. Like they have. If
I'm injured that day, if I'm playing.
In all honesty, though, they've smashed it this season. So if they win it and they win, this is a horse race. You know what I'm saying? Like the bookies, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They're paying out now anyway. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, either. How about this one? Would you take this? They get confirmed as champions the day we play them. So after the game, but they beat us, draw, whatever. But they win the league that day. Or we have to give them a guard of honour. Which one would you rather have? They only need to win 5 games, by the way.
Well, obviously, obviously, if you're saying that the result of the game is us losing and then they win the top, I would probably prefer the first one because I'd rather. I don't want a
guard of honour and then lose anyway.
The league's done.
That's a double out.
Yeah, see.
LL Cool J right there.
The league's done now, so I don't know. Like, it's not even. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't. And that's based on, I think, if we don't drop any points, isn't it? If we like, so we don't, so we have to win all our games, and it's like
I just pray.
So I'm saying, and it's like even that, it's like a couple of like after the Christmas period, it's like I would have said like after that when we got through that, like we'd be alright. But like now, like, the form we're showing, like defense, like I say, it looks like we've always got a mistake in us, and we don't look as fluid as I'd like us to going forward.
I think that's because of the shape. It just like the way I think of it. With this 4-2-3-1, we've gone back to it from the top 4 race. But with this 4-2-3-1, we haven't got the fullbacks to play it because our fullbacks ain't pinging balls in that box for Lukaku. But when we play that 4-3-3, the 2 centre midfielders are kind of expected to do that more. You get Pogba further forward, you get Herrera, whoever further forward, and they can provide the balls to them. In a 4-2-3-1, they're picking the ball up so deep. Pogba's on the edge of his own box. He'll probably try and bust his skill off. We know what he's like. He's going to lose the ball. He's getting frustrated. He's looking shit. United are losing the ball. Like, it's not working for none of this is working for anybody. And that's why I understand him looking so pissed off on the bench. How do you think Sanchez feels? He must feel like he did at Arsenal, like looking at Smalling and Jones fucking around. Lascelles, did you see what Lascelles said?
No.
From the first minute that he saw Smalling and Jones, he knew they weren't on it. Like, they just didn't look comfortable.
He could be gassing in it, but
but
my thing is, this is the thing that annoys me and it disappoints me with United in terms of when we actually do move forward, and I think everyone gets hung up on our 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, all these, like, to me it's like when we attack we have a certain amount of numbers going forward. The thing that I don't like is there doesn't seem to be no method behind anything that we're doing. So it's like we're not, you know, like back in the day we've got wingers, so we'd have wingers on the wing and then we'd have the fullbacks running on, whipping in balls. But now we've got fullbacks who can do that, but then when they get forward they can't take on a, you know what I'm saying, they're not taking on a man, they haven't got the option for the overlap. We're not getting balls in the box, and it's like when we're in the centre, it's like we're just hoping for a piece of brilliance from Pogba or from Alexis Sanchez now to like cut open the team. Because it's like, I hate to compare us to them, but it's like when Liverpool move forward, even regardless of who's going to be playing, it's usually the same front three, but they're just intertwining. When I was watching them, it's like Lallana, same thing, intertwining. They're all, I'll give you the ball, I'm running, I'm spinning off, and you're going to give me the ball, and then you're going to spin. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's all interchange, and it's like when we're moving forward, like obviously Lukaku's not built for that kind of play. He's not built for quick touches inside, as opposed to say Lingard and Alexis, who look perfectly fine at doing that. But then if you're playing a centre forward of Lukaku, he doesn't complement that. And at the same time, his best traits are for being swinging in balls in the box, and we're not swinging any balls in. And it's like, I was looking the other day, like we're going off topic a little, but it's like I was looking at the top scorers in the Prem, and it's like I don't want to be harsh on Lukaku because I do like him, but in reality, like the top teams will have like a striker who's scoring a lot of goals, and I think it's like the top 5. All those players don't play for Manchester United, and I think even though we are defensively better than we were last season, and we have scored more goals, we still don't score enough for me. And I think that's our problem. I think going back to the game at Newcastle, I think if Martial scores, I think it's a different game.
Yeah, definitely.
Are we talking about Smalling then? I don't know, because we always do kind of speak about him, but these things get highlighted when we lose. But it's like,
but then that's the important thing, like, because in games where it's 0-0, we need our defence to stand up and be strong. Like, that's when we need you. Okay, when we're winning 2-0, you can let in a goal, like if you really want to. But like when it's 0-0, that's when we need these guys to concentrate, and they just haven't got that concentration.
Well, sometimes just in football, just in the general game of football, you are going to get breaks in the ball, and so like you can obviously kind of you can try and manage against it man to man, etc. But Richard gets free, and your man they win the first header, and they win the flick. From when you're losing them, innit?
He was on a penalty spot on his own.
That's what I'm saying. From when you're losing those 2 balls, it's like you kind of deserve what comes with that, and that's kind of what happened. But again, it's like if Martial scores, it's a different game. The way I see it is, although they scored and our defense is shocking or whatever, we're not clinical enough. And I think that's why Mourinho's gone to Sanchez, because it's like everyone will say, oh, Rashford's going to miss out or whatever. I rate Rashford, I love Rashford or whatever, I love Martial, but they don't, when as much as they've improved this season, if you want to win the league, they're still not good enough at the moment, or in terms of we're not consistent, because it's like, again, I don't like to, I think Martial is technically better than him, but if Sterling probably has actually scores, that's how it's worked this season.
But I think if Martial plays for City, he's probably got as many goals as Sterling this season. I think so, personally. That's like, I think it's the way, and I think obviously that's not nothing against Jose, because they're just different coaches, isn't it? Like that, they're just different. That's always going to be the way. But I do think he would be better in that team. Like Martial's keeping Sterling on the bench. I think. But I think as well, Jose, like, I know this is I'm not trying to make an excuse for Martial. He should have had a hat trick that day. He had a header from a great pass from Lukaku. I thought Lukaku was one of our best players. He had a header which just went over. He had that one-on-one, which I think if he's playing on the left, he tucks. Because if he's playing on the left, coming in from the left, he's tucking that. Sorry, but he is, because he's got a chance to kill the keeper with his eyes. He didn't look comfortable coming in from the right. And then he had the one in the second half when it was just bouncing around in front of goal. Like, he should have had a hat trick. But I think Jose should put him back on the left. Let me get into the comments a second, and we'll move back onto the top 4 race and who you think's going to make it. Can we get your suggestions on who you think's going to make the top 4 as well? Obviously Manchester City, so let's say the 3 others. AF says drop Lukaku in big games. I don't think Lukaku's the problem right now. I really don't think Lukaku's the problem right now. The GOAT says never play him on the right again. Maybe you're right, Adam, but what does that say about tactics and management, says Daniel. Mo Wada thinks that Martial would have more than Sterling if he was at City. Matt says he's going to bed. Good night, mate. But he did say before he left, I'm praying we have Sevilla in our pocket. That's going to be a difficult game coming up in the Champions League, the away. That's why we need to fix the fuck up, man, because we got Huddersfield in the cup. 2 important games coming up now. No league action until Chelsea. 2 cup games. We need to win them. As I was saying, though, top 4 race. Aidan saying Burnley, looking like Burnley could catch Arsenal, but I don't know about that top 4. Who do you think's looking comfortable for the top 4 at the minute? Who do you think will miss out? Is that the better question? Who do you think will miss out?
I don't think anyone's comfortable, because I think the league's that ruthless where as it showed with us, you can lose it. Every team in the league on their day can kind of turn any team over. Probably take out City at the moment, but any team can beat any team. So I don't think anyone's comfortable. I think we should be the most comfortable. Really, we got the most points in it, so we should feel the most comfortable. But at the same time, we need to. Well, it stands like this. If we win all our games to the end of the season, we're second. No.
Yeah. All right, we've got Chelsea at home next in the league, Palace away, Liverpool at home, West Ham away, Swansea at home. That's our next 5. 2 big home games in that. Liverpool's next 5 are West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, United away, Watford at home, Palace away. So they've got some pretty good fixtures there for them, apart from the United game, you'd think. Chelsea, who probably look the most likely to drop out at the moment, if you wouldn't consider United. Obviously United lost 2 out of the last 3 league games, but Chelsea's next 5 after Barcelona is United away, City away, Palace at home, Burnley away, Tottenham at home. They've got some difficulty. I think Chelsea at the moment, but you know, Spurs are the team that are gonna lose at home against they've got Huddersfield at home on the 3rd of March, for example. They'll probably drop points. They could drop points in that. They've got in the league though Palace away, Huddersfield at home, Bournemouth away, Newcastle at home, and Chelsea away. So those are the next 5 fixtures for both teams. Who's falling out? Top 4 race. I'll find out from some of the comments as well, but let me know who you think's missing out. Robbie Jones thinks Chelsea and Arsenal are going to miss out.
I think Chelsea will make it, to be honest. I think as well, with the Champions League coming up, depending on who gets through and who doesn't, I think that will benefit teams in the league. And that's what we'll have to wait and see who does drop out. But it's if someone gets knocked out the next round, you're obviously going to have a better chance in the league. That's because you just got less fixtures, so you can afford to play your best team every week. So if someone falls out, then it's like if Spurs
who's falling out, Dean? I want to answer.
I'm not in the next 5 games. It's hard to say. I'm thinking long term in terms of the full.
Yeah. So who are you thinking?
I think it would be City. It would be City United
to drop out.
City can't. City.
We wish.
But in terms of who will make the top 4,
I don't think it's even mathematically possible for them to drop out the top 4 right now. 19 points.
I think it'll be the top 4 as it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that.
So Spurs are going to miss out.
I think so.
And then Harry Kane's going to leave.
Nah, I think he'd stay there. Well, we see what happened at the World Cup, and obviously I said this on the last one, but
Joe agrees with Jay. He said Spurs are going to miss out.
Yeah, I think as good as they've shown against us and against Arsenal, they've not been as good as they were last season. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I don't see them as much. Even when we beat them, last season I'd have been less confident going to them to win, but I was more confident this season. I don't think they're as good as.
Are you confident for the Chelsea and Liverpool games at home?
Yeah, and this is the thing as well. In terms of, it's a marathon, not a sprint, innit? So some teams you can always be benefited by the way the fixtures fall. In terms of if you have all the top teams at home at the start of the first half of the league, you could potentially get more points in the second half. And you'll see this with the teams at the bottom. Like there'll be a team at the bottom now who's got a run of hard fixtures, but no one's going to be looking at their fixtures. And it's like that's the team who's going down because like they had their best home fixtures and they lost them or whatever. And it's like, I think at Liverpool at home, I think that's a winnable game. Obviously you got City away. That's a tough game. Again, you probably you'd go there. Obviously you look to win. You obviously look to win, like snatch a win there, but you're not going to go and boss them off the park, or you look to get a draw. But I think
Chelsea at home.
That's a winnable game for me at home.
Palace away, they'll turn up on it. I think winnable that's on a Monday night or something fucking
winnable
like
game, that is.
Liverpool at home. Then we got West Ham away, Swansea at home. See, we got still got Swansea at home, City away, West Brom at home, Bournemouth away, Arsenal at home, Brighton away, Watford at home. I think the fixtures mean we should be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if we were to lose against City and lose against Liverpool and Chelsea, we should still be fine. Like, we should still be fine. Like, there's no excuse for finishing in the top four. And I think people that are worrying about it, it's just a symptom of us just losing a game, and it's just that negative feeling when. I think when it all comes down to it, I think we can't we can get on Pogba's back, we can get on Mourinho's back or whatever, but look at what they've if you just look at what they've did last season, and we're the second best team in the league.
That's not like
so everyone else must be shit.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like we still need to remember it. We have come a long way, and we are although we have lost a couple of games, when we're playing at our best, or even sometimes at 50% our best, we will still win games. But it's just at the same time, it's like I was thinking the other day. It's like now the expectations of a fan of United now. It's like literally, even when under Fergie, I literally didn't expect to. You expect to win a lot of games, but you don't expect to win them more. But it's like now because of how City have played and how they've just been storming the league. It's like literally every game you have to win. That's the thing I do feel for Pogba because the pressure is crazy. The pressure to
and when he was playing for Juve, he was playing they were already 8 points clear probably by Christmas, so they're a little bit more relaxed. Someone's probably going to comment now saying, but Adam, this season they weren't. But yeah, alright, cool. Let's talk about Tottenham against Arsenal. Tottenham won, Arsenal 0. Tottenham bossed the game. Nearly lost. Did you watch the match?
I watched a bit of it.
Nearly lost out in the last minute when Lacazette ran through. We're talking about a top four race, and I discounted Arsenal. You said they possibly still got a chance. Have Tottenham become? I know it's not really a big deal outside of North London, but it's been a topic for debate this weekend. Are they the biggest team in North London now, or do they need to win something?
Nah, well, a little bit in terms of on form. Obviously, at the moment they're hiring the league, so you have to say they're better at the moment. Are they a better club? I don't think so.
If you're going to sign for a team, who would you sign for?
I'd sign for Arsenal under Wenger, but I don't know about.
I'd have to chat to Pochettino first.
Yeah, no, I rate Pochettino, but I don't think
how long
I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'd be there long, but I don't think I'm not.
I'd want to play for Spurs right now. So. Sorry, I know it would be exciting to play with Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, but I would want to. They could sell you the fact that you'd probably get more wages at Arsenal, but they could say the fact we got a new stadium coming, we got this. Pochettino's better than Wenger. They're more likely to have Champions League football. So then you're saying, do you want Champions League football, or Europa League football?
Yeah. Nah, I hear that still. But
I would want to play for Spurs.
I'm just saying, if you're not from this country and you not grew up on the Premiership.
Oh yeah.
I don't from afar. Who's you don't know. Obviously, they had Ginola and that back in the day, but ultimately didn't win nothing in it. But it's Arsenal have had Henry and Perez and
but they're not there now.
But I'm just saying in terms of heritage,
it's like Lacazette. That's all. Yeah, but look, you're going to be the next Henry. Remember Henry Bergkamp man turned up. It was Iwobi and Welbeck.
That's what I'm saying. Even on that, it's the similar thing as United though. If Arsenal lose at Spurs, okay, whatever. But you watch the game. If Lacazette scores those two chances at the end. He scores one of them. It's a completely everyone looks at it very differently, and it's so it's now Spurs are seen as also good, but it's in reality if Lacazette buries, which you should, it's 1-1, and you know what I'm saying, you've got 4 points from the 6 points you thought you had, but it's because they win, everyone's Arsenal. That's why it's I wouldn't discount Arsenal because if he scores, it's 1-1. If he scores the other one, it's 2-1, and it's you could have won. But that's the thing. I think the difference is it comes down to
man like Kane as well in the end. next strikers, especially right now.
If he gets the chance, goal. And it's a different game, and that's kind of why Spurs are where they are.
He gets so much service though, man. So much service. I know he makes a lot for himself as well. I'm not going to take that away from him because his hold up play, his build up play, his tenacity. What I didn't like at the time because it was against United, but what I was impressed with was his like he had that experience. You know what Zlatan's good at, winning the free kick and doing all that stuff and diving at the right times and all that. Like. He was very clever with that, taking the pressure off his team and winning free. He's a top striker. And I think in the last couple of years, last five years, I've thought Aguero's best striker, but I think this season Kane's overtaken him.
Yeah, like in terms obviously he does it a lot by himself. And
I know Aguero's having a great season as well, but I do think Kane's overtaken him this season.
Yeah, no, I agree. To be fair, I think Kane does it for me a poorer team as well. Like,
100%.
I think if Kane's in a better team with better players around him, I think he scores more than he does now. So I think he's.
Will he leave Spurs?
Where
do you think Harry Kane will be in 3 years' time?
I think he'd be at Spurs, man. Like, to be honest, I think if he can be, because Spurs are obviously they're one of the biggest teams in the Premiership. Obviously, they are one of the better teams, and I think they'll continue to do that because obviously they've got good management or whatever. But I just don't think if you come to United, I think just pressure changes and stuff, and it's like in terms of money, I think if they can and they will, I'm sure, make sure he's happy in terms of money. I just don't think he needs to leave. Like I think again, like I just think because he's like an Englishman as well, I think he'd be like Shearer, where he'll want the mantle that Shearer's got in terms of the highest Premiership goal scorer, and I think that
is that worth more than a couple of trophies? Do you think, or do you think if he'd probably win a couple of cups in that time? Innit? Yeah, he's not going to end up like I know Shearer won the league.
Where does he go? Where do you go? Like
I think he could potentially get a move to Real Madrid, and I think he could potentially get a move to his pick of the Premier League teams.
But again, it's like if the best, if you're scoring it now, it's like, are you coming to United when we've got Lukaku? I don't think you are. I don't think the kind of strikers that City sign, I don't think he fits the mold. Like, personally, as good as he is, I don't think he
doesn't suit that. Like, because I mean, they were going to let Aguero go. Do you know what I mean?
So I'm saying, like, they want like Jesus and these fast proper fast. And it's like I just don't think Kane's that. And again,
Chelsea, nah. Arsenal, obviously not. That's not a step up anyway. Look at what's this best minutes per goal in Premier League history? Shit. Aguero 106, Harry Kane 112, Henry 122, Van Nistelrooy 128, Luis Suarez 139, Van Persie 139. Talking about Van Persie, did you see his return for Feyenoord? That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
they lost the next game, but would you trade Martial for a guaranteed 5 Premier League titles, says Keegan? Well, over what period of time? In my life, if you're telling me we got to sell Martial this summer to see United win another 5 Premier League titles in my lifetime, I wouldn't do that because we're gonna win. I'm hoping I'm living for another. I hope I'm living for at least another 50 years. So if that's the case, I would hope United would win the league more than once every 10 years in that time. So no, I wouldn't swap that. If you're saying in the next 10 years we'll win the league 5 times,
I'm assuming it means today.
Then I'll take that.
I don't know, man. I probably would, to be honest. But if we're gonna, obviously, it's the team is the main thing in it. So as much as I love Martial, it's all about the team. It's all about the team in it. So that's how I see it. I don't want.
Keegan said 5 consecutive league titles.
Yeah, of course.
Starting from next season. Yeah. I'd be on that, but it would be boring. Can we sign him back after them 5 years? I'd sign him. Now sign him back after 1 year? Fucking hell. Then he can get 4 of them. We sign back players. Anyway. They're showing the highlights of the United game as well. I don't want to watch that. Swap deal Lukaku for Kane and we add money, says Kader. It's not happening, mate. Andre says, yeah, it was against Groningen. I know, but I don't care. Like, I just like Van Persie. I was happy when he scored against United for Fenerbahce. The irony is when Jose took over, he was saying, I want specialist players for these positions, and now he's playing players. out of their favoured positions is Farham. We've spoken about United enough so far, I think. Do you think Conte's gone soon?
From what there's no smoke without fire in it. So I think, especially with where Chelsea's concerned in terms of they don't keep their managers that long anyway.
They've lost,
and it has been quite
before
successful.
today. Well, let's include today. They've lost 3 out of their last 5 league games, winning 2 against Newcastle and West Brom, losing away to Watford, losing at home to Bournemouth, and losing. Sorry, that other defeat was in the cup against Arsenal. Before that, they won again at Brighton. So they've lost 2 out of their last 5 games in the league, out of the cup. How do you think their season's going? Do you think they should be doing more, especially considering these were the champions last season?
Yeah, well, they're still champions at the moment. But I think I just think as people may disagree with me, but I feel sorry for Conte personally.
I don't.
I do because
I can see where you're coming from.
I think if you
I don't feel sorry for him.
I do in terms of I think people look over what he's done in terms of the whole 3-5-2 system that only came about when Conte came in the league. I don't care what anyone says. That's what everyone kind of copied that because he was working in it. He was working, and obviously so people started.
Well, Van Gaal kind of had a version.
But his version was way more successsul.
Yeah,
he won a league with that.
Yeah.
Like Van Gaal did. Like you can say, okay, Van Gaal did, but you didn't do it. He was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. You know what I mean? Like awful.
No one feels sorry for Conte now. Harry says Mourinho's rustled him. No one feels sorry for him. Dean, I think you're on the moment.
He did that. He did the 3-5-2, won a league, and he's getting players who they don't want, that he doesn't choose. So I think, I just feel sorry for him in terms of it's not a true representation of what Conte can do. Because if Conte signs his own players, who knows where they are? He's already came out recently saying that he said like we need 3 players, we don't need 8. And I think he's talking in terms of it's like they're trying to get quantity over quality, whereas he wants quality.
But then I don't understand. You know what I don't understand? Like because these man will go out and buy 2 man for 20 million that are shit, and just give him the 40 million. You know what I mean? Like I know they've got to meet quotas and that, but I don't get it. Where are you trying to be? Like you brought Drinkwater, Ross Barkley. I don't care about Ross Barkley no more. About 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I wanted us to sign him. Not now. Like he's awful. Barkley, you disagree. Drinkwater, Barkley. Who else have they signed recently?
You mentioned Giroud, innit?
Like okay, I like Giroud, but even then he's a backup striker. But you look at some of their signings, you think,
Zappacosta,
what level are you trying to achieve right now? Like, where are you going? And it's not like Drinkwater's a young player, a young English player. Like, we took the risk because he's a young homegrown. You've had good young English players in your team that you could have brought through and put in his position. Because Drinkwater's basic.
But they got him when they like a last minute deal on a deadline day or something like that. You know, where they was getting hand over fist done over for him. So it's like, I just think a lot of their signings are rushed, and I think that's like because to me,
Bakayoko signed.
Yeah, I think they bought him a bit early, but
then like
Drinkwater, he was a rush signing. It's like to me, like he's so basic. To me, he's like I wouldn't even say, but it's like McTominay does. What does it? I know he hasn't won the league. Like obviously, fair play to Drinkwater, he has won the league. But in terms of actual technical ability, it's like to me, McTominay's got that now. Whatever Drinkwater's got, he's so basic. But how he's worth 40 million, I have no idea. But
40 million. Is that league winners medal and it costs 40 million?
Obviously, he's English as well. So
wonder what his wages are. He must be living a good life, innit? He's living his best life.
So I'm 40 million. I'll be like, yo, you need to pay up.
He won the league though as well. Like it's like. No one could probably say nothing to him right now.
Yeah, and I feel
it's like, fuck you, like, I won the league, you get me? What can you say? And he left Manchester United and then he went on to win the league, having played in like Championship and that note. So hats off to him, but I think he's just shit. Sturridge getting injured again. What's your opinion on that? Says Josh Arnold.
It's a bit unlucky. Like I know he's played for Liverpool and City, but it's a bit unlucky for him, innit? Like I think on his day, I think he's one of the best strikers in the Premiership. Like, I think I know obviously England ain't great, but to me in the Euros, England were only good like against Wales. Like England were only good as soon as Sturridge came on.
And Rashford.
Yeah, and obviously that's them. They two transform the game. But he's just a player I think, and there's not many I don't think English players like it who like to have the ball and like to run with the ball. And obviously I think at times he's greedy, but
the problem is whenever he does have the ball and run with the ball, he gets injured. We saw that today. He passed the ball and pulled up injured. Did you see how he went down? Kind of passed it, buckled forward. I felt sorry for him, I'm not gonna lie. Like I did feel, I know he's a Liverpool player and all this, but like when you think back, Louis Saha, Falcao had his injuries when he was at Manchester United. I know he's still gone on to have a great career, so you probably can't throw him in the same basket. But Louis Saha, Daniel Sturridge, like who else would you say been those players? I know Solskjaer, but Solskjaer lived the dream in it, so it don't matter what Solskjaer injuries he had.
I was gonna say obviously there's famous on Darren Anderton and
Signal
and like there's been better players like that who's like.
I remember when Glenn Hoddle picked him ahead of Beckham.
I don't know what people think, but Dean Ashton was a baller, a ball.
And he had to fully retire as well. Like it wasn't like he was playing, getting injured, coming back playing. He had to fully. Remember that goal he scored at Old Trafford for Norwich?
I think he's obviously this is people again. They may think it's a bit over the top, but I think with his abilities, I think we should have signed him.
He was linked with us around that when he was at West Ham.
Yeah, I wanted him, man. Like, I think obviously he's unfortunate with his injury, but I think a lot of players have.
Michael Owen says Shane, I know he won Ballon d'Or and all that, but still.
But he's he was kind of plagued with injuries as well. There's quite a few players where. And
that's probably more upsetting that he hit that level where he had the Ballon d'Or and then got those because he hit it at such a young age. Joel Cole, he was actually a highly rated baller. He come through that team with Rio, Lampard, all them fellas. Like he was a baller. Up Fusion says Ronaldo. No. Ronaldo's the greatest 9 ever. So his injuries don't matter. I know he had injuries.
He had bad injuries.
But he was still the greatest. Like
but if he didn't have those injuries,
mate, remember when they made him play in the France 98 and he was all drugged up and that? Man's the dickheads, you know. Brazil would have won that if they never forced him to play as well, because they would have just played someone else and that. But if Ronaldo never got whatever happened to him, spiked, whatever, allegedly. Someone done something to him. Someone from France. We need to find out. We need to do some documentary or something. Go find out who did that, man. I love Ronaldo. I remember when me and Sam Homewood met him. Yeah, one of the best days ever. We was doing this thing in Cannes in France, and like me and Sam were doing something about some stuff about full-time devils and that. And then the same day, Ronaldo was doing some polka star shit there, and we were like, yo. We need to find Ronaldo. Like this geezer can't be in the mile radius of us, and we don't meet him today. And we looked for him, didn't find him. Was screwing. Forrest Whitaker was around there somewhere. He was doing something for Roots. It was before Roots had come out. You know the new Roots that he done. It was before it come out, so I think they were like probably looking, showcasing it and that. And we'd gone to our hotel, which was on the beachfront, and then we walked out, and Ronaldo's walked past, bro, and it was like. What? And we've run after him now. We've chatted to him for about 5-10 minutes. He was raw gassed, like, you know when celebrities get stopped all the time, so when they see you, they're not going to be enthusiastic, because he was enthusiastic, so we must have been the first people to stop him that day. And then as we walked off now, some girls have gone to us. Who was that? Because they've seen us taking a picture and whatnot. And we was like, Ronaldo. But they've started screaming, bruv, and ran, but these were like, 14, 15, so they're obviously in their head they're probably thinking Cristiano Ronaldo ran up this road looking for man, no Cristiano Ronaldo. But yeah, that day was amazing, man. I love Ronaldo. But yeah, Louis Saha for me has to be the one though. Hargreaves as well.
Say Hargreaves get me. Like I know what everyone else thinks about that 2018, but that's kind of the midfield. Like
2000. Did you say 2018?
That 2008
team.
2018
What?
2018 minute, like that midfield is tough. If Hargreaves would have stayed injury free,
I spoke to Hargreaves. Like when we stayed, was it the Wolfsburg game? We ended up staying in the same hotel when he was working with BT, and I chatted to him. I'm not gonna say what he said, but like you could tell he had some deep regrets about. And I said to him, like at the time. There's some United fans think you hate Manchester United. Like you went to Manchester City and that, and he said no. Like Manchester United were the only team that I would have left Bayern Munich for. But he said some other things as well about how he felt after and all that. But I think it's unfair for me to say that, but like that part where he was like, nah, like United were the only team I would have left Bayern Munich for, and I think he had some good times though. That free kick against Arsenal, the Champions League final, he played on the right wing. Yeah, he did have some good times.
Like, I don't know about you, but I didn't really rate him before he come to United. I never. Again, it's like I was saying to you about Smalling. It's like I never really seen what was in Smalling before he came. I seen him and wasn't impressed. But whenever I saw Hargreaves, he never impressed me.
I thought he was a good player, but you know, like when you think they're good, but you see them doing good things for Bayern Munich, but then when they play for us, and you think, right, he scores free kicks, tops penalties away like that, and like he's got a bit more. You didn't expect him to have that extra little bit about him. I thought he was purely like a defensive player. Liverpool LFC game is going to get blocked in a minute. Danielle, I know what we're going to answer, but I have to answer it. Do you think fans are premature chanting Mourinho out? Firstly, nobody has chanted Mourinho out at a football match that Manchester United have been playing in under Jose Mourinho ever. That has never, ever, ever happened. So, firstly, I don't know what you've heard. If you mean fans that are tweeting it and stuff like that, I think it's just sign of the ages. And I think when you see Twitter, you've got billion, not even, I was going to say millions, you've got like a billion opinions. So you're going to find an opinion that is that way inclined at some point, innit? But you're still behind him, innit?
Yeah, of course. I don't, as much as people get that, when people are getting onto him, who's the best, who's better for the job than Mourinho at this point in time? I'd love to hear if anyone's got any different opinions.
I think people would say Poch.
What's he want?
It's true.
What's he want?
And, no, but I'm just preempting that. So people. So what's your argument against Poch?
So you want to replace Mourinho, who's won everything, with Pochettino because he's done well
at
with
this
Spurs
moment.
Done well
we
with
should play that GIF right now, where Jose's doing that.
Poch behind him. You come on. I'm a fan of what Pochettino. Don't get me wrong, but if you're seriously talking about. Would I be happy if they says, "Oh, we got rid of Mourinho, we got Pochettino"? No, I'm not. Again, it's like they were, as well as they did last season. I don't think they're as good a team this season, in my opinion. They may have just beat us, but I still don't. They don't convince.
They've gone backwards.
I don't think they're as. I don't think they've.
I don't think their signings really.
Nah. Again, they got tight purse strings, but I just think that people need to just calm down when Mourinho's concerned. He's clearly the best man for the job. He's already for me. He's transformed us from what was under Van Gaal, and that was awful.
We go to games expecting to win now.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if this was under Van Gaal, would us losing against Newcastle? Would that even be like surprising?
Nah.
It'd be like, you know, it'd be like also watching Arsenal and like expecting, you know what I'm saying, like how Arsenal fans are. It's like they expect to win the league, and it's like, bro, be serious, bro. This has been the story for how long, bro? You know what I'm saying? You can't be expecting. You know what I'm saying? That would be out of nowhere.
Robbie Jones says we're nowhere near Mourinho out stage yet. Talking about injuries, says Kadir, Giuseppe Rossi. That's a good one. My football manager said he did get injured a lot. He got injured at United, he done his knee, and then he went on loan to Newcastle, done his knee. Remember, he went on loan to Newcastle, and they never ever played him, and then he done his knee again. And then I think he got injured when he was abroad as well.
For a piece,
yeah, and then when I started my football manager save recently, he was injured, but a big red injury, you know, them red ones where they're out for ages. Because I was thinking about signing him on a free, but I was in the Championship. I weren't looking to let some of my wage budget go on that. We got to pray for Jose to get it right, says JL. I think eventually we will win the league under Jose. I think we are moving towards that. I think the progress has been slower than we would have wanted. I think got to.
Is it though?
Yeah.
From how far it was, is it?
Bro, let me tell you this. In certain aspects, yes, because when Jose Mourinho came in, I would have thought I never want to see Smalling again. Really, truly, he got sent off in the cup final, bro.
Yeah.
The day Mourinho got. So really and truly, I want to see a better back four than that by now.
He's tried to do that, though.
Yeah, he has, but. Don't play. Just stop hitting it.
If he's the best of what we've got,
and if that was the only two we had, fair enough. But we had man on the bench. You should punish him for playing shit, not reward him with another start.
Yeah, but we don't know. It's like he's Rojo match fit. Who knows? It's like just because he's not came out and officially said like, oh yeah, Rojo ain't fit. Maybe he's not just don't want to tell the opposition that. Because it's like I'm hearing like I was hearing people saying, oh, Rafa Benitez was saying he was gonna play Hasselu all week or something, or Slimani, and then he turned up with Gale, and it's like that's why Mourinho he played Smalling. And I'm thinking no, I think he was just playing Smalling anyway, and I just think that Rafa was just gassing and that, but you don't watch that. But
Mohammed Buck says, why did you back Moyes, Adam? Why do we have to go there, man? Look, I got sold a dream by Fergie. Simple. And I regret. I don't regret backing him, because you know what? I give any manager my backing, to be fair. And even with Jose, like, there was times in the past when I've never wanted Jose, but now it doesn't mean straight after one defeat I'm going to be like, oh, Jose out. Like, I'm still going to back him, because I can try and be fair when I'm being critical of him. Like, yes, I think he's got some things wrong, but 80% of the things he's got right so far. So, and when you look at his signings as well, apart from Lindelof, Mkhitaryan got traded for Sanchez, so that's a good one. And Mkhitaryan's influence in his first season was immense. So when you look at all his signings, they've improved us. And if Bailly was playing, you're thinking Smalling wouldn't be. So, but
I don't think, like I say, a lot of people are going to be saying it's all down in the dumps and that. But in reality, if Martial scores, going back to that same point, if Martial scores, I think it's a different game. I think maybe we go on to score a couple more goals. I think that just the way teams set up when you're at 0-0 is different from when if you're losing, then you have to obviously change. And it's the same with us. It's like we just couldn't change because we took off Pogba. I think that's the only thing I didn't really like was the fact that if you're
he was injured in it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're not going to play Pogba for the whole 90 minutes, again, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but if you're not going to play him for the full 90 minutes, I'd sooner rather him play the back end, because to me, he's going to be more hurtful when like they're tired or whatever, and games can kind of be stale with us, where like it's like we can't break them down, and he'd be a good man if we're not going to play him for the full 90 minutes, to bring him on for
That's why sometimes Lingard's good to come off the bench.
Yeah.
Because of exactly how he plays. Like, when you're for that first 20-30 minutes, especially in a away game, when you're trying to build into a game, and maybe you don't have as much possession or attacking football, Lingard may be wasted. Whereas if you bring him on, I'm not saying Lingard shouldn't start games, because he should, but I think his form has in a way been a problem, because it's maybe prevented Jose from playing a 4-3-3. But I think you could incorporate him into a 4-3-3 as well. Right then, I think that's it for today. Dean, what's going on next week? It's the FA Cup football, so we'll have an FA Cup weekend wrap next week. Lots more going on as well. So keep it locked at youtube.com/Adam McKola. We're going to do a podcast this month as well. It's February, isn't it? So podcast is going to get done this month. If you've got any name suggestions for our podcast, remember it's a general podcast, so it's not a sports-based podcast. Let us know. But yeah, get your comments in below on everything we've discussed today. Dean, any final thoughts? Jerry Springer style?
I just think I'll be positive, and it's the same thing, but like just look at things put things into perspective, innit? Like I say, if we the way I see it, we just need to be more clinical, and I think that's as much as people want to get onto like Mourinho or whatever. If we start scoring goals and putting teams to the sword when we should be, like we'll be where we want to be, and I just think we just need to be positive. Like, it's not all doom and gloom. We've come a long way from where we were, I think, in terms of the days under Van Gaal. We're going to games expecting to win. So I think we just need to be patient. As City have run away with this season, so we have to take that into account.
I just seen there, it says Sky sources, so it could be wrong, believe that, who was it? Shit. Who's that Italian fella who's been approached for the Chelsea job? What's his name?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Allegri.
Yeah. It wouldn't
Luis Enrique, sorry, not Spanish geezer.
But they've been saying a lot of stuff, like saying Marco Silva could be a stopgap and all this. Like, I think, to be honest,
stopgap. Marco Silva, I'd give him the job.
But again, it's like, I like his style of play, but it's like he's not won anything, so it's like
this ain't Man United job.
But it's still like Chelsea want you to win stuff, bro. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, like if you don't win, you're out the door, and so you have to win stuff. So
very true.
I don't know. I think whoever does take that job, it's an awkward one, because even that, like, what if Hazard don't stay? Does Hazard stay?
I don't know. That's a story for next week. We're done, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us, Dean. We'll be back next week, and podcast coming soon. Keep it locked. Keep it youtube.com/Adam McKola. For now, guys, we're out here. Ooh.